Dave? That's Dave Johnson. He never struck me as the kind of guy who'd go get small. Wow.
My co-writer, Jim Taylor, has a crazy brother named Doug Taylor. Doug Taylor doesn't work in movies, but he has nutty ideas. And many years ago, he approached Jim saying something to the effect of, you guys should make a movie about, small people. If you're only this small, you could have a big house on a big lot and just, 6 square feet. And maybe there would be some conflict between big and small, I don't know. And he and Jim kind of riffed on that for a while. But and Jim talked to me about it, but I had no idea what to do with it until years later. It was after Sideways, and I wanted to do something maybe a little bit more ambitious in terms of scope. And I remembered that idea, and I thought, well, how really would that happen? And I thought, well, probably as a solution to overpopulation and climate change. And probably Scandinavian scientists would think of it and achieve it. I mentioned it to Jim, he agreed, and we quickly saw that it gave us kind of a science fiction, social satire metaphor net that we could throw around a lot of different ideas.
Decision to
Downsizing takes the pressure right off, especially money pressure. We live like kings.
We're dying to move. We're really strapped.
You want my advice? Leave your lands where you want to be.
It's a good idea for a movie. It's a wacky idea. It's an absurd idea, but it's the stuff of comedy when you can take an absurd idea and treat it very earnestly. And it set off a lot of chain reaction thinking between Jim and me. Chain reaction thinking that I hope will also extend to the viewers when they see the movie, after they've seen it. Whether they like the movie or not while they're watching it, hopefully later they'll think, that they'll kind of catch the same fever that Jim and I had.
In Leisureland, your $100,000 translates to $12 million.
Wow.
I just got another diamond bracelet.
Pretty nifty, huh?
Okay, let's go for it.
Nervous?
Little. I love you.
I love you too.
Part of the humor for me personally comes in treating this stupid, ridiculous, broad idea very, very earnestly. In a way, the more serious the film becomes, deep down inside me, it becomes funnier because of how seriously we're taking it. But if you take just one step back from the whole damn movie, it's pretty absurd and pretty funny, I think.
Today, you will undergo the permanent and irreversible procedure known as downsizing.
All clear.
Yes, we need a lot of visual effects with which to make the film, but there was also a huge contribution of production design and the interplay between both. When you've got a big set, movies for even back to the silent days are a combination of what you can afford to build or show in the foreground, and then beyond a certain point, like they do in the silent days, you kind of paint a line, and it's painted behind there. That's they're still doing that with visual effects today. So, for example, if you've seen the movie, Matt Damon is led into let's call it an apartment building in which undocumented workers live. It's a former construction trailer that's been, say, retrofitted with huge sheets of plywood into being an apartment building. We built that, as you see it, up to level 3. That's what we could afford. Then levels 4 to 11, I think it was, is what they call digital extension. However, it doesn't mean that all of it is CG. There are people walking along those upper corridors. They're all photographed because I wanted photographic reality, what they call photoreality. I didn't as little as possible did I want this thing to look like a CG movie. So even though it's all placed in there digitally, we actually painstakingly shot extras walking and hanging laundry and those things to plug them into those upper levels.
Please don't be mad. I can't leave my family. I can't leave my friends. I'm sorry, Paul.
I should have been thinking more about myself.
Thinking about yourself? I'm 5 inches tall! As large as you can, please.
The film has a kind of a high, what do they call it, high concept premise, but is neither a broad comedy nor a full-on science fiction film. It goes in its own weird Byzantine directions. And I think that's what's maybe surprising about the structure of the film. Some people really dig it, that it's got this episodic structure with some hairpin narrative turns. But that's what Jim and I thought made it kind of fun and special, was that it has one protagonist leading us through a series of episodes that are important to him as a character, and then also important to kind of the larger story we're telling.
You may find yourself
Open your eyes.
in another part of the world.
The world is filled with things to see.
And you may say to